Well, welcome. I'm just gonna share out kind of some of the ways I've been using Skies. I've used it for pretty much kinder, first, second, and then fourth and fifth. I haven't used it with third, but it's pretty much the same concept. Again, one thing that I've come across with Skies is that it just really makes enhances my lessons and the activities that the students do to another level, where I feel that like with Skies, it's just reinforcing any activity or any material that I have. So that's what I liked about it the most. Principal Yam said the best, like you customize it with what you already use on a daily basis. And just getting to know the features really helps just manage your classrooms. I guess you want to say like participation. So like I said, since we got second, first, let me, I think it's like a third grade. So let me show you some of the differentiation activities that I've been able to do with them. Let me share my screen here. Okay. So, okay, so fluencies is one of the big things. So here, let me see here. All right, so this is let me get a second grade passage, since we have some second graders in here. Let me take these out. And then while I'm doing this, just to get some idea on your I guess experience with Skies. Has anybody used Skies already? This is your first time?
I've used it for a few years now.
Years? Okay. All right, so you're kind of familiar. All right, so let me pull in a one of the great things I like about Skies is obviously I have my own fluency passages, but sometimes when I need something just like on the spot, I could just go ahead and just do like an image search. And it's pretty good at passages. So this one here. Get it to load. Okay. All right, so one way I'll differentiate this, like let's say this was our fluency passage for the week. They would have their own hard copy. And we would go over the vocabulary, we'll highlight, the sight words or the word pattern for the week. But the way I use Skies is once we went over that whole group with their own passages, I load the same passages back onto Skies, and this is where Skies has helped me reinforce what we practice without me being like hovering over them all the time. So what I normally do is like I'll load this fluency passage, and then usually I would make I will make 2 copies on my Skies page. And then what I would do is, let me see here. I would make the first one an annotation, and then I would write my instructions here. I'll be like, what is this? Or find the sight words.
Oh, man. How do I disconnect from this?
So, I wrote the instructions, find the sight words and annotate. I like to color coordinate them, so they only, do the green cards. So when those students go to their Skies page and they're going to interact with this fluency passage that we already practiced whole group, it loads like this, and then they'll go ahead and highlight box in. So again, they're kind of going over the passage again without me. They're looking for, the sight words. And then there's, again, an activity real quick for them to do. Since I did it twice, on this passage, what I do now is on this one, I have them normally video record themselves reading the passage aloud. And I just put directions here. I'll just put, read and record. And I selected the little camera to read and record. So then when they move on to this card, they'll go ahead and they got the passage here on the side. It's very view, like, they have to go anywhere. That's what I like about it. They don't have to jump around to any other tab. It's right there. And then they go ahead and just read, Jill was not like of the other jellyfish. I hated it. And then they're, they stop. They save it. And then here you got, two different ways of interacting with just a simple fluency passage. They got the annotation where they just they just showed me that they found the sight words, and now they record themselves. Again, I love this because again, it's reinforcing and again, I did this already with them. My lesson with this fluency passage, we read it together, we highlighted. Most of the time, they have the fluency passage with the sight words already highlighted on their own page. I'm using this mainly for reinforcement and accountability, because I could go back and be like, oh, Steven, did you do your green cards? And that's why I color coordinate them again. I can right away check and see, oh yeah, he did it. He did it here. Perfect. I know he practiced. You do this Monday and so like on Monday, done. On Tuesday, I'll just copy and I'll do the same thing again, but this time I'll just change the color of the card. So again, same fluency passage. Now, again, this works perfect for reinforcement and again, it's a really engaging activity with them. Sometimes I'll go a step further using the same passage. I'll since it's like Jill and the jellyfish, I'll go to YouTube and I'll go like how to draw a jellyfish. Depending on the level, you look for a good video. Put the directions.
Just to add on, Alex, on what you're doing with the thing on the fluency passages too, lots of times I'll do the microphone response procedure where they respond and read, but you can cut it off after a minute. So it's a good way you can time it, the recording limit, which is a good way to get them ready for dibbles and stuff.
Right. You know what? I like the video portion of it because I like to use it for back to school night. That way the parents could actually see their child like reading. It also allows me to kind of see what's happening in the background. Like if they're messing around in the back. Again, a lot of it is, for me, I like to use it for accountability. I can see what they can't tell me they haven't done it. The majority of my skies time during the day is used during my small group rotations. So I usually be like, all right, guys, go to skies, work on the green cards today, and then I can pull out my group. And it really has bought me a lot of time. And I feel so comfortable them being on skies, because at least I know they're doing something that I created. And it's, again, nothing new. But I just feel comfortable, like, oh, I know they had good practice, and I can see that. Here with the YouTube video, like I'll add this video here. But then what I would do is I would select the camera feature, where they would see the video on the side. And then when they're done with their illustration, then they go ahead and then they just snap, you know, a picture of, you know, what they. Again, from just one passage, I created 3, you know, engaging activities. Then I go a step further, and for writing, again, same passage, I'll go ahead and I'll use the generator, and I'll use the where is it? I think it's the picture cards. Is it this one? Oh no, here at the very bottom, I use the picture generator at the very bottom, and then based on the Fluency Passages vocabulary, I'll just type in I don't know, just words from waves, just for a few, I don't know, people. And it'll generate me the vocabulary words, but with the picture for reference. Again, I know some of us have English learners in the class. It just helps out. I usually like to unsegment them so they could see them all. And again, this picture generator, like they have to say, they could hear the word, I believe, and they have to say the word, like jellyfish turns green. Humans turns green. If they get it wrong, it'll enunciate it for them. I don't know, Steven. Waves. If you skip it, I'll generate this so they have the words, and then to add on, I'll use the text feature, and then I'll generate a sentence starter or directions. I'll be like type a complete sentence. I don't know what I always put use your English words. And I'll do that to every card. And this just becomes a routine to them after a while, and as well as for myself, as I make my cards for the week. So then they have to do 2 things here. They have to pronounce the word jellyfish, and then they have to go ahead and then type in a sentence. And then they go ahead, they got their submissions. Again, several activities, engaging, different modalities, from reading to drawing to typing. What else do I do with this?
Alex, for
Can I ask a question about
sorry.
how you organize this? So, because you said, you know, this would be over several days, do you hide the cards and then
Yeah.
publish them each day?
So let's say, so normally I would color coordinate them. So let's say these were the green cards. And then let me move these over. So I'll have, I don't hide the cards. I just move them in front of the, let's see here. Okay, so let's say this was green was like Monday. So I would have about like maybe like 10 cards for Monday, green. And then for Tuesday, I'll make them a different color. And then I would move them to the front.
Okay.
And then so by the end of the week, they would have maybe about like 30 cards, maybe, depending how many. And I just keep moving them forward. But some of the cards just get, like I said, the fluency practice will almost likely be the same. The vocabulary words I might change. I just maybe, let's say a passage had 10 words. I would do like the first 3 and then Tuesday the next 3, and then I just build on from there. The generator, what I love about it is that then you could generate comprehension questions from it. So I'll usually use the what feature do I use? I think it's the which one is it? Oh, the chunking. So the chunking feature, you could extract the text from it. So what I'll do is I'll extract the text. I'll run the chunker. So here's the text here. So then now that I got the text, then I could highlight this text, copy it. I'll go to the generator. I go to the AI, and then multiple choice questions. And then I'll paste it in there. 5 questions. Provide the feedback just gives them the right and wrong answers. And then I just wait a little bit. Again, the lessons that you already taught, you're just enhancing them. Okay, here are the questions. I always like to unsegment them. See, I can barely. Let me make them red. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, and then here we got questions about the fluency passage. 5 questions. One thing I noticed is sometimes, let's say, why did Joe hit her tentacles? I just put this one, submit. Okay, there we go. So again, it gives them, feedback right away. So for this one, for example, I've noticed this just as like a little tip. I noticed this one when they submitted, it didn't give them any feedback because sometimes the AI has a little bit of a glitch. So I believe there we go. Well, let me go back to this one here. This one gave them feedback because the answer has already been selected that this is the answer. So it's in green. And the AI does that automatically, but every so often it glitches. So this one here, notice it doesn't have any green, like a check mark. Why did Joe decide to play with the other jellyfish? I think it's this one. So you could manually select the answer yourself, and then that would fix the feedback on it.
Hey, Alex, while you're here, how did you get to the word to that passage or a passage?
You mean the fluency passage?
Yeah.
So, like I said, normally I have my own passages. I have a PDF of 2nd grade passages. But
Right.
if you go to add a card, I'll do it on the side here. I usually do an image search. And I'll just type in 2nd grade passages. Now, the image search, like all searches, it really depends on your wording of the search. So that's very crucial. So I'll put 2nd grade passages, and then I'll select, and then it'll just generate a list of, oh, you know what? I said passages. So it's giving me these type of passages. Again, the wording is important. So I should-
Fluency Passage.
second grade, yep, Fluency Passages, there we go. And then you'll see now these are more. But that's again, this is if you have nothing available, you kind of just roll the dice and see what you could find. Like these don't seem very maybe this one's a little helpful. Now it's an image search, so it's an image of the passage. So sometimes the quality won't be as crisp. Like, yeah, this one doesn't seem very clear. Yeah, it's kind of like fuzzy. But that, but that's one way you could go ahead and get a passage on the spot. But if, like I said, if you have your own passages, like I said, I'll usually go and look into my own personal documents. Let me see here. Or you know what? Another place you could go is, I don't know if you guys use the lesson collective. So from there, same thing. You can just look up, second grade fluency. Anyways, but that's how I came up with that passage.
Thank you. Also, I had another question. How do the students, once they read the passages, are able to record their fluency, where they stop, like at 20 words or something like that? See how you have your chart where it says first read, second read?
Right.
That be using the typing?
So again, this is just for reinforcement. They would have their fluency folder. So the way I've done it in class, like they have their fluency folder, and we'll do a time read whole group. Like, all right, guys, guys got a minute, begin, everybody's reading. They write down on their folder, I read, 60 words. I come around and I check it. So we already did the passage already. I already did the recording of the fluency. This is just, again, I use this for like reinforcement. If they wanted to record how much they read, then on this annotation part, then they could technically, from their assignment, which is find the sight words. They could also, from their folder, just go ahead and just type in whatever their fluency was for that particular day.
Right, I figured that. Thank you.
Yeah, just for accountability, just so I know.
But you said, I'm sorry to ask another question, but
No.
you said you give them a hard copy of this story, or they have
Yes.
a certain folder that they write the title and then a list of the words they read.
No, I usually use like a manila folder.
Uh-huh.
And I print out the copies for everybody, and they have it there stapled. And that's our fluency folder for the week. That's why, like, for example, for this particular activity, the fluency passage pretty much dictates all the activities for my skies. So this jellyfish passage, it'll be on skies like 4 times every day. The only thing that would differ will be the extended activities. Like, I'm always gonna have them annotate and read. The only thing that would differ is, for example, maybe these questions would differ every day. The vocabulary pictures would differ. And some of I'll add this like a video for them to watch. There's also one more. Let me see if I have an example of one. One more thing I do is, let me see. Not sure if you guys do like I'll do like the fluency lines, like where we segment like the phonics aspect of it. Let me pull one up. View as. Let me So usually I'll poster their vocabulary, and then I'll come on, I don't have it anyway. See, and you know they're taking notes, and then I'll post it on Sky so they can take a picture of it, so I know like they took notes. Let's see what that word is. It. Is this the right class? Wait, is this even the right class? Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I thought I had it ready.
While you're looking for that, I wanted to sort of answer one of the questions that was asked before, where somebody asked, do you hide the cards every day?
No,
The way I use, no, I know, but the way
Oh.
I use Skies is every day I use Skies daily, but I use all my lessons for that day. And so instead of like you who uses it for the whole week, I use it daily. So I would move and cater it. So I think it's up to you how comfortable you feel with your lesson.
Right. What I have done though is like so let me see if I can show you here. Okay, so like you know how, oh hold on, let me move to the other one. So you know how it says here word fluency here? And when they click on it, like the first thing they'll see is like the week's work. And so what I would do for like next week, I would select all the cards and I'll move them. And then I'll make a sub week. So this was like, I would like week 1. And it was jellyfish, right? And then I also put like, let's say it was like a long Y. And then I'll put all those cards from that week here. And then that way, when they click on fluency, that whole page is blank. So I could add the new. The new activities for that week, and they don't have to be like scrolling down and tabbing all the time.
Oh, thank you. I was just wondering about that.
You could also segment them and put it and then label it as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
You could do that too.
Yeah.
But my point is like once you're done for the week, I'll make a sub section under it, and I'll move all those cards there for that week. Because I like when they go to the menu, I like that when they click on that first link, the first thing they see is what's going on for that week, instead of except for them having to travel down the menu.
Yeah. So that gives them the opportunity to go back to week 1 and see.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that.
And not only that, like the way you name that week, it also helps you know like what was in that week.
Yes.
Because in the beginning, I'll put like week 1, week 2, week 3, but I had no idea what was in that week. Or I had no idea what passage that was, or what spelling pattern we were working on. And that helped just manage like all the cards throughout the week, throughout the month. Let me see here.
Can you talk about how you use it for math, or if you use it for your math small group?
Yeah, math very, very similar. Mainly for math, I use it mostly for like note taking. Depending on let me see here. Let me see if I can pull here. Let's see, math fluency. See what it looks like for that. This looks too busy. So for math, kind of very similar. The one thing I do have it for math is I always have like in the first cards are just for like reference.
Mhm.
So for example, I always have the multiplication chart. I know some of you are second grade, so probably use a different chart. Just for reference, just so they always have it there in the beginning. But for skies, for most of the time, like if I'm using math worksheets, they're usually just annotating. The card. Sometimes I'll add like warm-ups, like these are just like warm-ups that we haven't practiced. It's just there for them to like get started. But I do have let me see. You guys we're all using Eureka? Eureka Math?
I am.
Yeah, okay. Let me see. Let me go back. Where's the fractions? Okay. Oh, this is okay. So like the way I use skies for math is more for accountability. So like here is a Eureka page that we worked on together in class, and I emphasize you have to take notes. So when they're done, all they do is they just take pictures of their notes,
Hmm.
which is the worksheet. This is for so I can see, okay, they completed it. And then I'll copy the same page again, and this time, if it's doable, then I'll have them like annotate their math practice for that day. So the math is not as extensive because the lesson itself took a lot of time. It's just, okay, well, you guys are done. All right, go to Skies, upload your notes, annotate. And again, sometimes I'll add little warm-ups like on the side just to buy me more time if I need to talk to somebody or a group. But for math, like I said, it's not as extensive. But like I said, I use it for accountability for their note-taking and then show me some of their examples.
And for feedback, you would have to do it manually, right? With the feature where you can mask grade.
Right, exactly. For that. Yeah, like see, like these are kind of just like warm-up stuff, like
And I use Eureka. How do I get these Eureka cards? Is there something in Skies that directs me already to Eureka?
yes. So if you go again, you add a page here. In their core content, that part of the menu, it says Engage New York, which that's the Eureka. So you go Engage New York, and then you select your grade, and then here are the modules, and then the topics, and then the lessons.
If it's okay with everyone, could you do that one more time?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So you go under core content, and then Engage New York, and then you'll get the grades, and then you select your grade, and then select the module, and then you go from the topic, and then you pick the lesson. Once you find your lesson, it'll generate the teacher's edition, the teacher's guide for that page, and it has a little square arrow pop-up. That means it's gonna, if you select it, it'll open a new tab, so you can see that teacher's page. What I like about this one is that not only does it show you the teacher's page, but it also shows you the pages that are available for you to print, or they're available in their book with the homework and all those sections. So I use this a lot because sometimes some kids will rip out an extra page. Oh, I don't got that page. So then like, okay, I'll just go here and I can just print it out.
How do you print it out?
Well, once it loads, then it's just like being on your computer. You just go to the print section. Yeah, and just find your printer and then print the page you want because it's already on PDF.
Thank you.
But not only that, but then it also makes those pages on skies already. So these are all the pages. Now, obviously, I don't need all those pages, so I'll either hide them or I'll just delete them. And you can hide them by clicking off the little toggle switch. They're viewable to you, but not to them.
The only thing it doesn't have is the application problem.
Right. So like this, this was generated by Skies. And one thing too is the pages might not match the page number. Might not match the page number in your actual hardcore book, but it is the exact same page though. So you just gotta just double check. But again, I wouldn't have them work on this on Skies. I would just have them come back to Skies to take a picture of their worksheet. And if it allows, then they can annotate. But again, the core of the math lesson is done in front of the classroom on the whiteboard, on your smartboard. And then I'll go here to for them to show me that they had, accomplished what they had accomplished. Somebody gave me an idea the other day that they're like, oh, you can even add one special feature where you could have them just as an exit ticket, either like record themselves, like, oh, what's one thing you learned about today? Like a nice little closure for that particular lesson.
Yeah.
Video, audio, or even typing, like, oh, today I learned, or questions. So that's something definitely I'm gonna try to incorporate this year. Just adding that extra layer of reinforcement and engagement, to be quite honest.
Would you hide the teacher page from them, or you let them, you allow the students to have that access?
Like this page that you see here?
Yeah.
So normally what I've done is I gotta talk to Julius about this. Usually I'll add an extra student. So I don't know if you're aware, but like usually, see here, yeah, on the very top, when it's not highlighted, then this is the teacher page. But I can select any student and just see what their page looks like from their end. So notice like this is this student's submissions. But if I go back to teacher, then I could see, let me see, let me add a response here. Like, see the little jargon, this little jargon part here? This is what it looks like for me, but usually when I'll present to them, I'll pick that extra student that I enrolled. That way, and this is what I'll show them. So it's not too cluttered, and then I can also see what they're doing. Every so often I will walk them through, like, all right, guys, I want you to annotate this this page here. Oh, I didn't click the annotation part. And then this week I kind of walk them through, like, just in the beginning, like, okay, this is how you type in the answers. But no, I do not use I try not to show them the teacher page. It's normally for myself.
Thank you.
When you're teaching your whole group lesson, are you actually using Skies to project to them?
Yeah, sometimes I do. Actually, I'll use you know how I have the teacher pages here? So I'll use the projector and I'll just project it up on the board. Or using the Elmo or whatever device you got. But yeah, I use it here better because if I use the book isn't as clear as obviously the digital copy.
Yeah.
A little tip, and I told my kids too, is like if they ever see the arrow, usually they'll allow you to either download or pop up that particular page. So I'll project it like this. To scratch. So I'm just using it just to obtain that section from it. There was something else I was gonna add on, but I can't remember. Oh, so one thing I like to do too is like again, we did this page together. I wanted to annotate. What I would like to do sometimes is I'll break this worksheet into several cards using the chunking feature. Because sometimes I can tell the like annotate this and be like, oh, that's too much to annotate. So I figured a way that makes it more appealing to them, which I'll take this page and then I'll just chunk. Which is I'm just slicing, pretty much I'm just slicing this worksheet into 6 different. I heard it here.
Oh.
So I took this page, this yellow page here,
Mhm.
and I just sliced it up into these pages here, right? And then I just have them annotated.
Another thing you can do is you can also choose a multiple choice. It's a little bit more work and put the answers in
Right.
yourself.
Same thing. Yes, exactly. And then what I would do is I would just hide this first page because it's just pretty much the same thing they're going over. So they'll see this. So I'll take that one worksheet and then I'll just break it apart.
I really like that. Thank you. That's helpful because a lot of kids who are struggling with math are very intimidated by the whole.
Right. It's just too much. Yeah. Like same thing with these little fluency ones here. Same thing. I don't need them to do all 30. I'll just chunk maybe 5 of them. And then it's a little more appealing.
I don't hide the original page just for me, but I just don't allow them to annotate.
Oh yeah. Same
So-
thing. Yeah, you have
So they
that
could see the amount of work,
Right.
like you said in the other one, instead of doing 20 problems, when they see you only put 8 or 9, they're like, oh, okay, it's doable.
Right. And then every so often I will leave them instructions, like depending how much time I have on as I'm creating these cards, like I'll just use the edit and I'll type in here, just quick instructions, problems. Just so they have it there. Sometimes I will leave them audio directions. All right, kids, make sure you finish your number bond. Make sure you write your numbers clearly and legibly so I could see your answers. So it'll be up here. All right, kids, make sure you finish. What you could also do, technically speaking, I've used it with some of the EL kids for fluency, is I'll just go over the whole problem with them. All right, 6 plus 4 more is 10. 4 plus 6 more is 10. Those are inverse numbers. 10 minus, so I could just literally just talk to them through the whole answer, and then they have it there as a reference. They say you get really creative with some of these features. One thing I love that this, again, the customization of it is, I remember I spoke to, I don't know if it was Rachel or James, but this play button used to be at the bottom, and a lot of my kids would kind of just, like, I would write instructions and they would never even bother to even use it. So they now moved it up to the front, so it's like right away you can see, oh, there's something I could play some audio for it.
So how long does it take you to make all of this, like do your lesson planning? Just generally.
For every subject?
For the
like if you're talking about for the day, it just takes me a couple minutes. But if I'm doing it for the week, I would say within like an hour, I'd be done. Like all I really need is just the initial couple of lessons, and then all I'll do, I'll just enhance them like I did now.
Okay.
Like I said, like once I have like we're gonna work on this on Monday. I'll look at it. I mean, okay, I see what. Okay, well, I want them. Okay, I guess they can annotate this, and then I'll just break these apart, and then I'll add. All right, I want them to still take a picture of their hardcover worksheet. So I'll just type in, take. Oh, take. And then,
Hello, everyone.
and then
Sorry for cutting you off, Alex.
no.
Rachel here. Thank you so much, Alex, for helping us with helping your fellow teachers. James is now in the main room, and we now have to go back to the main room for your questions. And James will be able to answer any further questions that you may have. So I'll see you guys in the main room. Thank
Perfect.
you. See
Thank
ya.
you, Alex.
Well, no, thank you guys, and hopefully I helped a little bit.
Thank
Oh,
you.
it did for me. Thank you.
All right, take care.